Hey guys, what's going on, everybody? So, tonight we're going to mix it up a little bit from things that we normally play. We've been playing a lot of Burn lately. We've been playing a lot of Rakdos Pyromancer, just like, generally decks that are up my alley. Tonight we're going to mix it up. We're going to play a little bit of Green-White Selesnya Company. Sorry, I'm out of breath. Ran up the stairs. This is one of those decks that I really like, and I really like the way that it looks, but generally doesn't work out when I play it. I don't know what it is, the way I play it, what I do. It doesn't work very well for me generally. So I am excited to play this tonight and see what happens. They did give me my 30 tickets back. How about that? So I'm excited to go ahead and jump in here and see what tonight has in store for us. Oh, probably take forever to find a match. It's been taking a long time when we've been playing Modern, and there's like 1,600 active people in that, so this will probably take a minute, but that's okay. Wow, that was fast. Definitely colored me surprised here. High and good luck, opponent. This hand seems like it has too many lands. If we could trade one of those for a spell, we'd probably keep it, but I think this hand's really good. We have no way to know what they're playing, but I think what we're going to do is I think we're going to ship the, I don't know, Scottclave Apparition's like really our only removal spell, but I think we're going to ship the Skoos here. See what happens. Okay. Play Elvish Mystic and say go. Run out Archon of Emeria and say go. They play generally a ton of non-basic lands, so feels good to have that come into play tapped. We're going to attack for 2 and see what happens here. And we're going to say go. This feels like Niv, but I think Niv generally plays very few basics, so Deafening Clarion. Okay. Land. All right. I'm not complaining. Guess I should have played the Llanowar Elf, technically. It was an extra point. We're going to run this out here. Hope they don't have like an extinction event or something. If they do, our follow-up isn't great, but we do have like Mega Lethal on board if they don't have something. Plus, even if, if they name even, like, Extinction Event's actually not that bad for us here, because they have to pick even or odd. Which is still fine. We get to crash in for 4 here. Put our opponent to lethal again with what we have on the table. And then if their play here is like Niv or something else, like we still have lethal. Plus if they play like a cheap blocker or something, we can just Skyclave Apparition, so... 4 cards in their hand. Okay. I don't think our opponent realizes that unless they have something, they're just dead. Play the Great Hinge. Yeah, I was like, I don't know what's happening here, but okay. Well, Tireless Tracker does seem good. All damage target instant or sorcery with spell would deal this turn. Saxon Enchantment, put a 1/1 counter on target creature, and target creature you control fights target creature you don't. We don't want Baffling End. I don't think we want Deck and Stone or Rest in Peace. Maybe we want Selfless Spirit here. Scavenging Ooze doesn't seem very impactful. Cut a Dork. We're not really bringing in anything that's not creatures, so like it really like cutting Collected Company doesn't really hurt us here. Archon of Emeria doesn't seem great. Well, actually it does. Non-basic lands come into play untapped. Snowlands, okay. Non-creature spells your opponent's cast mana cost 2 more. Skyclave Apparition honestly doesn't seem great. We'll leave it in as like some amount of removal here, but I don't really think I mean, I don't know. Skyclave Apparition doesn't seem very good in this matchup just based off what I know about it. We don't have a Llanowar Elf, but I can live with this hand. We have 1-drop, 2-drop into 3-drop. Like, we have a really solid curve. Our opponent's already on 5 cards, so hopefully we can just Spellbinder them. Like, being able to Elite Spellbinder, like, one of their cards out of the game, like an important card out of the game would be really good for us. Okay. Cast Heart's Desire, say go. And then next turn we get Sunpetal Grove into Selfless Spirit. Okay. Play Selfless Spirit, say go. The only bad thing about Spellbinder is that it doesn't technically take cards from your hand, it just makes them 2 more to cast. Attack for 2. I guess I should sacrifice. It's technically just better that way. Not that I really think it matters, but... I'm okay with you having the Fatal Push. Pretty good draw step. They're probably going to fetch and Fatal Push this, which is fine. We're going to play Tireless Tracker, shock in our land, make a clue, and then play Llanowar Elf. Tireless Tracker. Always yield. Play Llanowar Elf, say go. He's one away from being able to cast Bring to Light here. Okay, make another clue. Can do that and draw a card. So we're just going to swing in. Okay. Our opponent takes 5. We get to cast our Heart's Desire and say go. The Branchloft Pathway is not a bad draw. Knight of Autumn. Okay. Gonna make it a 4-3. Alright, bet. That is... Redain was a very good draw step. That's fine. I don't really see a reason to tap out here in case our opponent draws something really good. Like, there's no reason to put more stuff on the board. We have our opponent at 10. Like, them drawing a land here would be best case scenario for us because even now they can't cast it. It costs 9 to cast. Okay. That is just so good. Yeah, okay. I was like, yep, that just feels really good. Oh boy, green white tonight. Yeah, we're mixing it up a little bit. We're stepping out of what I like to call my comfort zone. I really like decks like this, but I just generally don't play very well with them. And at first I was like, man, I must draw terribly with these decks, and then I was like, okay, at some point I was like, at a certain point, it's not the deck, like it has to be me, like I just doing something wrong. But we ended up getting a win there, so I mean, wasn't felt pretty good. We had a pretty good showing with the deck. I felt really solid. I'm really wondering if this fortified village should just be like at plains, like 6 forests, 4 plains. I don't know. This fortified village feels pretty extra. I'm really hoping it doesn't like bite us in the butt later, but it's possible. It's also pretty rare that I beat Niv, like the Niv Mizzet deck, so beating that deck felt pretty solid. Brought in Selfless Spirits and Tireless Trackers. Not that they really like did anything. They were just like Tireless Tracker, drew us 2 or 3 cards, and Selfless Spirit was in different mana, not an odd mana cost flyer, so that was pretty sweet. But I'm way less sad. Bow now, bow now, now. Playing against Luris, so that could mean multiple things. Um, I would like to keep this hand, but I just don't think we can on the draw. Like if they kill our Llanowar Elf and we don't ever draw another land, we're just screwed. So I think this is much better. I think we keep this. Ship that to the bottom. That could be wrong, but feels like the correct play. Okay, so it is burn. Lava Runner. Play Llanowar Elves. I mean, this is a Wild Slash Lightning Strike Wizard's Lightning. Like, I mean, this thing's a lightning rod, so more than likely gonna die. But that will give us a chance to play Voice of Resurgence, which is really good. So some evil part of me wants to block here to deny them a lot at this stage, but I just don't think we can. They might have had the land anyway. Might not have mattered. Yep, there it is. Play Voice of Resurgence since they go. We're going to try and hold on to our Scavenging Ooze for later when we have like multiple creatures in the graveyard so that we can make value out of it. Okay. So he has nothing to play for 1 mana here that's not allowed at the stage. Okay. Land? Not a land. That's okay. Maybe we need to draw a land here, but not having a land is fine, so. We're still at 15 going into their 4th turn, so this feels pretty good. Alright. Even if they don't attack, doing that for them is a pretty good idea because it allows them to. Okay, so we have 2 options here. We can hop in front of the Soulscar Mage and take 5 and go to 6. Or, with Pyromancer and Eidolon, or we can block. I think block save on the life totals like better. I don't know if it's correct, but all right, not hitting lands has been unfortunate here. put our third land on the bottom, and we haven't seen another one, which has been pretty unfortunate, honestly. Pyromancer puts us to 6. They're going to play Eidolon. At least I imagine they're going to play Eidolon. We'd like to draw an untapped green, or a non-damaged green land. We're doing what we can. I mean, we're unfortunately in a spot where like they're really just winning. Us missing our third land has been pretty bad for us this game. It's been pretty rough. I still think it was right to put the land on the bottom. I mean, I'm not going to say it was indefinitely correct, but I don't know. I don't hate it because we're playing 22 lands in our deck. Okay. They kill our token. They attack with everything. We're blocking the Eidolon. Okay. And they might have lethal rolled up here, but... Yep. Okay. Well, that's unfortunate. I think we win that game. Yeah, there was a third land. So next turn we could have 8-2 creatures, gained a couple. If they would have, like, say, had another land there, we could have gained 2 life and played a Llanowar Elf. And then so we go back to 4, and we have multiple blockers. So I don't know. That felt like we were in a pretty good spot, but I think Baffling End is really good. I think Declaration in Stone is really good. I also think Dromcom is really good. We're bringing in a lot of non-creature spells, so there's probably some thought to cutting, honestly, most of our collected companies. Redain does not feel very good. Spellbinder lets us take a card from their hand. Skyclave Apparition gets rid of their threats. Archon of Emeria forces them to play 1 spell a turn. Lovestruck Beast is the best blocker and is like one of the best creatures in the matchup. Voice of Resurgence makes bodies after it dies. Scavenging Ooze gains its life. Having 1 collected company is never a bad idea. And the Great Hinge is also really good because it gains us a bunch of life. So maybe we take out a Great Hinge and leave in an extra guy. I don't know. Sideboarding with decks like this are not my expertise, so if you have any ideas or thoughts, please, I'm happy to have them in the chat. Just doing the best that I can think of here. So on Sunday, there's 2 parts to this story I'm about to tell. On Sunday, I played in the Pioneer Challenge, and I played Rakdos Pyromancer, and I finished 14th. Like, I had a pretty good showing. I went 4-2. It was, nothing crazy. It was only 50 people, so not a big turnout. But one of the rounds, I think this hand's very well worth keeping. One of the rounds, we were playing against our opponent, and it was playing against Is It Phoenix. We lost game 1. We won game 2. Some weird stuff happened. The game got reset like the second game didn't happen, and then we played it again, and I lost. So, not a big deal. I probably would leave that hinge in. Okay, well, if it works out and we win this next game, we'll put it back in here. Llanowar is a glorified blocker in this matchup. Yeah, I know Llanowar is not great. I just normally, like, my thought process is when I'm playing red, I hate to see Llanowar because I know I have to waste a Wild Slash on it. So, I mean, that could be a terribly wrong way of thinking. That's just, like, the way I see things. Alright, play our Voice of Resurgence because this is a great blocker. So, I was playing against my opponent, and it didn't count my game. So I was pretty upset. Also against Lurish, you want to keep that third land. Why the third land against Lurish? I don't really understand the correlation. Like, I'm not saying that keeping the land was a bad thing. I'm just curious to know, like, what the correlation is. Assume Llanowar is dying in red and black. Okay, I mean, that makes a lot of sense. I'm actually going to serve up 3 because if they kill our Voice of Resurgence, we'll have a 3/3, and if not, we're just going to get to block with it, which is great. So, like I was saying, I was playing and it didn't count my match, so I wrote WotC a complaint ticket because I was actually kind of upset, if I'm just being honest with you. Like, it honestly bothered me. Um, and so when I wrote them that ticket, they finally answered me today, and I know it's only been a couple days, like it's not a really long time. So they answered me today, and when they did, um, and when they answered me, they just gave me my tickets back. And I was like, oh wow, that's like really cool. Like, it's really awesome that they did that. So we're gonna attack with one of them. So I ended up playing in the Pioneer Challenge on Sunday. I came in 14th, so I got my 30 tickets back, which was just came in the form of points. And then I actually got my okay. Gonna kill my elemental there. So he has a shock or a wild slash in his hand. And I ended up getting my 30 points back from playing in the event, so that was actually pretty cool. Now they're gonna shock the Spellbinder, which is fine. Wonder what the last card is in their hand. Alright, take the shock, so it costs 3. I'm gonna force them to play it here, because if not, I'm gonna block. Block the illusion. So they have the shock they can cast, and they have Luris. So this is pretty good because we get to take their Luris, which I think is pretty cool. And then they can always play their shock, but I'm actually not going to block here. They can still play their shock, which is pretty good. Yep, we go to 4. This is one of the reasons I don't really like the Great Hinge in this matchup. It always feels so, like, slow. So I kind of need them to brick here, honestly. So we get to give this a counter and try to fight the lava runner, and if they have a burn spell, they have a burn spell. Yep, that's unfortunate. Drawing the Great Hinge at a wrong time. Why not play Best so you can get Hinge next turn? Because in my head, before I made that play, I was thinking that in my head, I was thinking that if I played that out, I could stop their spell and kill both of their things, but I couldn't. So that's why. I mean, not that it mattered. It didn't matter what we did. We were going to lose, but. All right, well. We're going to keep this and put a Lovestruck Beast back. Okay. I see your Llanowar Elf, and I'll match you. A burn spell wins either way. Yeah, I know, buddy. I literally said that out loud. They're playing Gruul. That's interesting. Alright, so I can't play Archon this turn. I don't know why they didn't attack. Oh, they played the other elf. They played the Elvish Mystic after the Llanowar Elves. That's right. Okay, we're going to 18. So I think I want to run the Spellbinder out here. Because another Stomp is pretty punishing here, but if it's not a Stomp, being able to take cards out of their hand is pretty good. They do have another Stomp. Okay. I think we want to be trading to get stuff off the board here. Because next turn, if we need to, if we hit a land, we have Collected Company, and if we don't, then we have Skyclave Apparition into the Bone Crusher Giant. If they attack with everything, we'll block the Llanowar Elf and take 6 and go to 5. Now, the thing we do have to be worried about, honestly, is Embercleave, like pretty much at all times. Oh, that's right. They can technically cast it. Am I just dead here? 3, 6, 8, 10. Oh, but I go to 1. Well, that was unfortunate. I think we were just a little slow there. So again, Baffling End seems great. Deck and Stone seems great. Dromoka's Command seems really good. Archon feels pretty good here. Spellbinder feels good. Redain does not feel great. To cut at least 2 companies because we are bringing in 6 spells here. Scavenging Ooze is really good off the top late game. Bring in 6 spells, take out our companies and 2 creatures, 2 of our worst creatures. That seems fine. The Great Hinge gives us plenty of like room to grind. I feel like that's fine. I feel like this hand's really good. Play Elvish Mystics, I go. Cast Heart's Desire, I go. Adding to the board pretty quickly here. Okay. Guess we're going to say go and hold up Dromcom here. I don't think it's right to run out the Scavenging Ooze. Scavenging Ooze provides a lot of reinforcement later. Okay. Choose target creature for a counter. Baffling End. Play Heart's Desire. Attack for 4. We have 2 Lovestruck Beasts and Scoozes as backup. Alright, and they concede. Maybe you don't want Dromoka's Command on the draw. I think having 2 companies is just better staying power as opposed to Dromoka's Command. Because a lot of their stuff is just like either of equal size or bigger, so at least everything that I'm thinking of doesn't seem like Dromcom plays too well, so. I think this hand's really good. Our opponent also keeps 7. We have the opportunity to This green-white company seems awesome. Just needed fast lands to be more consistent. Yeah, it would be pretty great to have fast lands in a deck like this. I think it really like smooth out a lot of things. Our opponents had multiple Burning Tree emissaries every game, and I mean, don't really have much to say about that. Like, it sucks, but it is what it is. So I think Voice of Resurgence and another Elvish Mystic are really good here. I like maybe Archon of Emeria, like if they have a non-basic land here, stops them from doing something. But I don't really know what it stops them from doing. They put 3 creatures into play on turn 2, so... Okay. Yep. And then I'm a Tard and can only play 1 spell, so that was dumb. But I do have a 3/3 and a 2/3 to block with, so there's that. Hopefully maybe we've hit a little bit of stabilization here. They have a couple bad draw steps, and we have a couple good ones could turn around for us here. Lovestruck Beast, okay. We have our own one of those, so that's cool. Block that. They have no cards in hand, so... Cast our own Lovestruck Beast and say go here. As long as they don't draw like an Embercleave or something crazy here, we're doing fine. If they shove with everything, they probably have Embercleave, so... I mean, to be fair, I guess they can attack with 2 things and still have Embercleave. It's not like it's a huge ordeal, but... Okay. So they have a forest in their hand. We're going to say go. Imagine they'll play the land. Alright, they're not going to play the land, which is weird. They're going to play the land just after combat. Definitely should have left a white source open there just to make them think that we had Dromoka's command. They saw it last game, so they're probably in their head thinking that we have it this game, so... Would have been smart to leave open green-white there. It was just me not thinking. Okay. I mean, even if they attack him with everything, we still have pretty good. Sitting pretty good. Funny part's questing beast isn't even a problem for us anymore. Like... Now that's a really good spell for the turn. Okay. Alright. And now we just wanted to get it out of Bone Crusher Giant range. Okay. Rabble Master could be a problem. Now all of their tokens have to attack, which is actually pretty good for us because the way that lines up, we get some pretty free blocks out of that. At least it sure heck feels like we do. And I get to mentor onto something, which is fine. We're just going to kill the mentor token. Okay. So we're going to block here. We're going to block here. And we're going to block here. Then we're going to eat this. Go to 17. Take 3. Go to 14. And they're going to concede. Yeah, okay. I was like, the writing's on the wall here. Feels pretty much like it's over here at this point, but well, that worked out pretty well. I thought that wasn't going to go very well just based on how that was going early on. Our opponent had pretty, like, honestly, like, they didn't have any top end game 3, but they had really explosive draws every game. Games 1 and 2, they had turn 2 Burning Tree Emissary into Stomp something. And then game 3, they had double Burning Tree Emissary into Legion War Boss. So, I mean, it's very, like, an Embercleave here, or, you know, or Questing Beast off the top randomly, we could have lost that game for sure. There's the Prowess, Black-Red Aggro. We're going to change that. I've been on this kick lately where I want all of my deck boxes to have, like, the matching guild colors if I can. Is this... Oh, we're going to change this to Boros because it is. And then pull this back up and we're going to play our match. 2-1 going into round 4 here. Well, hopefully if our opponent joins. There he is. Our second land comes into play tapped, but I think that's okay. A good land off the top, or honestly, like, just a good play, like Scavenging Ooze, or playing another, like, 1-drop on turn 2 is pretty good. So, I mean, it's not like we have bad plays either way. This feels really solid across the board. Pathway into Elf, say go. So the fact that they play Castle Gernberg tapped is really good. And the fact that we draw a land off the top, or a white source, untapped white source off the top is really good. Allows us to play Spellbinder and see what they're working with. This is mono green Planeswalkers. So we took Vivian and put that in exile, so. And at least Spellbinder is a really good clock. I'm going to be honest. Oh, they drew Oath of Nissa. I was like, I didn't even see Oath of Nissa in their hand. And then they're going to play Elvish Mystic. So we're going to attack here, play both of our Voice of Resurgence, and say go. Burning Tree, I imagine, into Wolf Willowhaven on the Castle Gurnberg, Garenbrig, and then they're going to play both their Llanowar Elves, and then they're going to be able to play Nissa next turn. So, and we're actually going to collected company now because depending on what we collected company into, okay, and then we're going to Skyclave Apparition the Llanowar Elf. Really hoping to hit an Elite Spellbinder there because if we hit an Elite Spellbinder, we get to just take their Nissa. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So they could play their Vivian if they wanted to. Interesting, they're going to concede. Alright, I didn't really feel like we were in this unbelievably commanding position, but cool. Selfless Spirit can protect our stuff and has flying. Baffling End is really good. Declaration in Stone is pretty good. Okay, cards that don't seem great here. Well, first off, we have to cut at least a couple companies just because of what we're doing. Great Hinge seems good for drawing cards and casting other things. This is non-creature spells. That's also really good. Scavenging Ooze seems it can be pretty good off the top. They play a ton of basic lands, and they don't really cast more than one spell, so I could see us cutting a couple of these. I think we try it like this. This could be wrong, but I'm interested to try it like this. I don't know. Archon of Emeria just doesn't seem like a great card. They don't really play a ton of spells in one turn, and if they do, it's generally on turn 2 with Burning Tree Emissary before we can really get it down, so I don't really feel like having it in is the way to go. I think having one in is fine. Maybe we snag like a Castle Garenbrig or something, and like it comes into play tapped one turn when they need it, or I don't know. For any number of things, you know, it's a 2/3 that flies, so it's not a bad card by any means. I think having Redain on turn 2. Thanks, man. I appreciate it. I think having Redain on turn 2 having Redain on turn 2 would be like the best play possible, I feel like. Did you mean to invite me to a party?
Oh, you're so much. Through. See if you can hear Joseph because I can't hear him.
Joseph, say something, buddy. I can hear him just fine.
Really?
Oh, yeah, I think you have me muted.
I can hear Joseph through my headset just fine. Bill66, thanks for the follow, buddy. I appreciate you.
I don't hear you either.
Go to your party and see if you have
But
a
I can
party.
hear Call of Duty through my
If you
headset.
can hear Call of Duty, then
You have the adjuster on your controller, right?
is the game turned up and the voice chat turned down or something?
No, like it's beeping. It's so loud.
The voice chat is?
It's up as high as it goes.
Click on the party. Sorry, our opponent's gonna have to sit here for a second. Go down to me. Clicky. Leave the party and try rejoining. That's so weird.
This is the second party we've been in.
Try joining the party I'm in. Can you hear me coming to the headset?
No, try again.
Can you hear me now?
Call of Duty isn't coming through either right now because it like I left the party, so it's like taking a second.
Right, to catch up.
No, I still don't hear you.
You still don't hear me? Hang on, let me finish this game and I'll look at it.
Well, let me just restart my Xbox.
Okay.
Try hard resetting it. Like, don't just like turn it off normally. Sorry, we're going to keep this hand. Elite Spellbinder is really good in the matchup. It allows us to take cards from their hand that would be tough for us to deal with, so... Their only play on turn 2 was Burning Tree Emissary, which I feel pretty solid about. I know I said that Redain was our best turn 2 play, but we're going to play the Spellbinder. I think we're going to take Nissa. I think Nissa's the thing that scares us. And that could just be like based against what I've played against, like how I've played against the deck, but I think Nissa scares me the worst out of everything in their deck, honestly, so. Plays Nykthos. Makes a 1-2. He's probably going to make it a 2-3. Oh, no, he's going to have it fight the Llanowar Elf. Okay. Well, that's not great. Well, that means our land's going to come into play tapped. Which means they're going to get one of their Karns down, which is unfortunate. Well, if they have another land, they do.
Is that Nissa in their hand?
No, I took it earlier. Good call. So.
Okay, well they have a Nykthos, so remember they're casting that either way.
Yeah. So.
The Karn's coming down even without a land.
Yeah, I just realized that after I said it because I'm retarded. So I don't think the Baffling End is worth playing here. But if this gives us access to 4 mana. And it means we can play Redain and Llanowar, which I like. So we're going to run out the Llanowar Elf here. Unfortunately, Karn can get some pretty busted stuff. Maybe it was correct to take the Voracious Hydra knowing that they can play it and kill our Llanowar Elf and then untap and play Redain and make everything cost 2 more. Maybe that's the correct play. Last card that we know that they have is... Alright, so drawing a land is pretty good. That allows us to Baffling End and Redain. Which means we can start by attacking Karn with Elite Spellbinder.
Can you hear me?
Yeah. Can you hear me? Joseph, say something, buddy.
Can you hear me, Carly?
Yeah.
Did you say yeah?
Mm-hmm.
Cool.
So we play this. We cast Redain. And then we get to cast... Maybe I want to hang on to the Voracious Hydra. I think holding on to the Voracious... Or not the Voracious Hydra, the Baffling End. I think holding on to the Baffling End is good here. It gives us multiple outs to whatever they might have.
Do you want us to leave so you can continue narrating?
No, I don't mind at all.
I just knew like us talking would be cutting into it.
Oh, no, you're good, man. Boat crushes your deck. Yeah, the boat is a significant
What about
problem.
my burping?
I mean...
That's a yes.
Carly, are you still set on zombies?
Thought you wanted to play zombies.
I did like 4 hours ago, but now I'd kind of rather not.
What do you want to play?
Really, anything else?
Like TDM?
Yeah, that's fine.
Okay.
Selfless Spirit feels a turn too late, but we're going to do what we can. Yeah, God, let's hope they don't have the boat here.
If you still want to play zombies, we can.
Oh, TDM's fine.
My game's loading. It'll take it like...
Okay.
Vivian Arcabo Ranger, which means the last card in their hand is a Karn, and they have a Nissa that they can cast. They're going to get to attack for 5 and put us to 9 here. We're going to get the crack back for 3, 5, 6, 7, and we can exile. We can Skyclave Apparition, Skyclave Apparition the Vivian away. This feels like we're in a pretty good spot, but generally, about the time I say that is where I'm wrong. Were you guys asking about me being in here because I'm bothering you all when I narrate the game? I mean, I can leave if,
No.
if,
It doesn't
it's a
bother me. I
problem.
just didn't want to like stop you from like narrating what we're talking.
No, not at all. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, which means we can technically play the Great Hinge this turn.
Hey, just a heads up.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of people play an Ulamog or the Green Gear Hulk on the side. They can 2 to 4 with Vivian.
Actually, a good call. Having the Gear Hulk could be a problem.
But putting all those counters on the Voracious Hydras are an issue.
Yeah.
Sorry, I wasn't trying to play a game. I just want to give you a heads up. I've been seeing that lately.
Oh, no, you're good, man. I appreciate it. Our opponent's okay with going to 5 here. And they have access to 5, 6, 7, 8. Are they going to cast their Nissa this turn? They're at 5. I don't know if they realize this, but their Nissa doesn't
Are you ready?
save them.
Yeah, I am.
And they're only attacking for 3, 6, 8. Yeah, I don't think they understand that their Nissa doesn't save them here. Yeah, alright, so we're backing that up. So you have access to basically 8 mana, which allows you to Karn and something for 4. Or you're gonna play another blocker that, I mean, I guess it doesn't change anything. So you have access to 8 still, so what are you gonna do for 4 mana that's relevant? Hopefully nothing. Just want to attack for 5 in the air and kill you.
Aegis for Harvester coming in.
There you go, good call.
Well, it's worth. I called it before that was on my screen.
No, you did, even before it was on my screen.
Jesus, Carly, you're 422?
Yes.
Are you gonna go for 1,000 next time?
No.
What if we did nothing but play Call of Duty with you? I mean, I know Joseph can't guarantee that, but every time I stream, we can play Call of Duty to try and get you to 1,000. You're thinking about it. I can see that look on your face. I'm telling you, we have to get a Carly cam. Just to see the looks on her face.
I would spend too much time just staring awkwardly at the camera. I'd be like Jim from The Office.
Okay, so
Zach would start screaming about something, and I would just look at the camera and shrug and go,
just like that, huh?
yeah.
Alright, please hit a Skyclave Apparition. There's 3 in the deck. Hey, I hit a Skyclave Apparition.
Is that Sheldon laugh again?
I was going to say, what is with you and the Sheldon laugh lately? You're so good at that.
We've watched too much of that show. Alright, so we hit Skyclave Apparition, and now we just get to attack him for 5, unless we're about to get blown out by a single green mana. Nope, we're not. They concede. Alright, well, we're 3-1.
Nice.
Our one loss was to burn.
That's ironic.
Oh, Zach, you know earlier when you said that you wanted to block with that Lana War against Burn?
Yeah.
I always make that block anymore.
Oh, really? Do you?
The odds of them not having removal is impossible. So you can make that block in case they don't have a lane.
Okay, fair enough. I mean, that makes sense.
I suck at this.
So did you hear me talking earlier about my league from last week, Joseph? Or not my
something
league,
about you got tickets?
my challenge on Sunday?
I heard you say something about you got tickets.
Yeah, so I played in that challenge on Sunday, and I came in 14th, which means I got my 30 tickets or 300 points and 10 treasure chests. And then because I wrote Watsy complaining about how I didn't get or I got hosed out of that game, they just gave me my 30 tickets.
That's cool.
So I basically played in that challenge for free and won prizes for coming in 14th. It was pretty great. If Watsy's going to do that, I will be happy to lose a game more often. You know, it's funny to think about. That game that I lost, one of those two games, both of my matches that I lost were to Arclight Phoenix. If I had won one of those, I'd have been in the top 8.
Really?
I think so, yeah. There was a couple X2s in top 8. So if I'd have been X1, I definitely would have top 8'd.
So close.
Yeah, well. Now it's going to take forever to find a match. But I'm way less sad. Bow now. Bow now now now. Now 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 now. Now 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 now. Hey, I found a match. We're on the play.
I'm feeling real slow in this game.
Same.
This hand feels really good. We don't have a Llanowar Elf, but... Oh my god, I just realized that's a fortified village and not a... And not a... Alright, so this hand was terrible.
What's a fortified village?
It's the reveal land.
Does it need that many white sources?
I don't think so. It's playing 6 forests, 3 plains, and a fortified village, and I personally think 6 forests and 4 plains is just better, but... You know, whatever. Temple Garden off the top's not bad. We get rewarded for making a terrible keep. Thank you, Moto. Watery Grave more than likely means blue-black control.
Or rogues?
Could also be rogues. Don't they play Lyris, though, normally?
Not that I remember. It's possible.
I don't remember what all they play. Could very well be rogues.
I'm not gonna say they don't play Lyris, but I don't remember even ever playing Lyris after been beat by them.
No, I get that. That makes sense.
If they play the Flash Death Touch guy, they play the Flash Mill guy, and then they play a Lord. Other than that,
Okay. And we hit our 4th land for Collected Company.
I'm imagining Moment of Craving means control.
I would like to think so. But again, have been wrong before. Well, we're going to take your other Moment of Craving and force you to have something good. And to be fair, you can just cast it in 2 turns, so it's not like it's that big of a deal, but... Can you turn your soundbar down just a little bit, please, baby?
Sorry. I thought I did, but I
No.
may have turned it the wrong way.
No, you're fine, baby.
I don't like how pushing the front makes it quieter. They ruin snipers. You can't use them with anything.
Cast Heart's Desire. Cast a Lovestruck Beast. We're just pumping up our elemental token. We're going to force them to use their Fatal Push on the elemental token or the Elite Spellbinder this turn. they have drawn Extinction Event at some point, which they probably haven't. If they did, they probably would have just played the Fetid Pools because they know that their Fabled Passage is untapped. I was going to say they'll probably push the token, but probably just push the Spellbinder on it. No, the token? Okay. And Cling to Dust my Voice of Resurgence, or to draw another Fatal Push. Cling to Dust my Voice of Resurgence. Fetid Pools opt and an unknown in their hand. They go back to 20, and we have 9 power in play with Collected Company and Hinge in our hand. Seems like not bad for leftovers. Them opting during their turn is a pretty good sign. Puts one card on top of their library. Okay. Blood Chief's Thirst my token. Okay. Play Castle Vantress, which means you have Fetid Pools and an unknown in your hand. So generally I would play the Great Hinge and then the Llanowar Elf, but I would rather play the Llanowar Elf so that I can attack in with my Lovestruck Beast this turn, and then I can play the Great Hinge after combat.
They might kill it, and then you won't be able to cast it.
That's also possible. Probably should have played the Great Hinge before combat then.
I just say that from personal experience. I've not cast a lot of hinges because of that.
No, I mean, it makes a lot of sense that I should do it that way. Like, what are you watching?
Someone's story.
Hey, are we riding to the beach together, Joseph? I know you and Carly talked about it earlier, but now that we're all here, I'd like to just go ahead and settle this out since it's
I
soon.
thought that's what the plan was.
Okay, cool. And we can take Carly's car, right? Is that what we said earlier? Take your car?
Yeah.
Okay.
Cool.
QQ, QQ, QQ.
Hey, you guys never answer my question.
What was your question, buddy?
Do you guys want to go to Texas Roadhouse before cards tomorrow? And will you have time to?
Well, we talked about playing cards beforehand because I haven't picked up a Magic deck in...
It's been 84 years.
Yeah. So I needed a refresh on how to play.
Okay. And Zach, you never answered if I could use your Skyclave.
My what?
I asked if I could use your Skyclaves tomorrow, and you never.
Oh, yeah, if you want them. I'm sorry, I didn't know you asked me that. Did you text me that?
I did.
I do not remembers.
I text that to you, I think about the same time as I asked you guys about the.
Yeah, sorry, man, I didn't. I also haven't seen your text message about tomorrow, so possible I didn't see that.
It's good. You just replied to me after I sent that, so I just assumed you guys
Okay,
hadn't
am
decided.
retarded. Sorry, buddy.
Am Tardler.
Am Tardler.
Did you see Kyle's Snapchat?
Yeah, if you're talking about Skyclave apparitions, then yeah, absolutely, man.
No, Scourge of the Skyclaves.
Oh, I wondered why you wanted that card. But yeah, you can have that too.
I meant
Kyle,
to put that
Snapchat?
list together today, but I ended up going to bed instead.
You ended up going to bed what now?
I said I meant to put that list I sent you together, but I ended up just laying down instead.
Oh, I got you. Did he send a Snapchat recently?
Yeah, today.
The Tardler one.
Yeah.
No, I haven't seen that.
this like during the day today. You should look and see if he sent it to you.
Alright, hang on. Got a sideboard. Kyle sent me a Snapchat earlier, but it was about Modern Warfare 2. Oh, was it when he was at work?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't listen to that. I just saw that he sent me a video and I didn't listen to it and click through it
He just said,
immediately.
and toddler, and she started laughing.
Yeah, yeah. Let's look and see if Blue Black Control is playing Torrential Gearhulk, because if they are, there might be some argument for having Rest in Peace. Demir Control. For Thing in the Ice. That's interesting. Wouldn't have played around that card.
My aim is so off tonight. Like, I just can't do anything.
It's me.
Like, I'm shooting everywhere but the person.
It doesn't really look like they've been playing that, so I think we're just going to pass on that. So we're going to bring in Tireless Tracker and Selfless Spirit. Cards that are okay to cut include...
My mic is apparently muted. I said that's the opposite problem that I'm shooting them just like 12 years too late.
Mm.
So, the Great Hinge is phenomenal. Collected Company is really good in this matchup. Skyclave Apparition doesn't seem great. Archon of Emeria seems okay because they can only play
I
one
would say
spell.
the hinge is pretty medium.
Really?
There's a good chance it never resolves.
Okay, we'll leave one in, or should we cut them all?
It doesn't hurt to have one, but it's just not going to be the backbone you want that is in a mid-range matchup.
Okay. I wasn't looking at that card wrong tonight then. But I guess it is bad against Supreme Verdict.
Well, no, it's not that. It's getting hinge to resolve.
Oh, okay, fair enough.
Against mid-range matchups, like, once it's down, it's just advantage. Against control matchups, it's a card that's probably not going to resolve.
No, I mean, that makes sense.
Because in that green-white deck, you're going to have to, like, tap out or close to get it down most of the time.
Yeah. Play Llanowar Elves and say go.
Oh my god, I can't shoot! It's so frustrated.
Well, trigger's on the right, so.
Seriously? Wow. Joseph, did you see someone's name is Sweet Lasagna?
No, I didn't see that.
With 3s as E's.
I like lasagna.
Tell your mom I'm coming over. Or whatever. Is that what Kyle says?
Tell your mom I'm coming over and tell her to make lasagna?
Yeah. Something like that. We're butchering it right now, but yeah.
Yeah, where's Kyle?
Okay. Gonna Fatal Push that during my turn so I don't get a copy of Voice of Resurgence. Or get a copy of a token. Math checks out. And then we're gonna play Archon of Emeria. Pumps up the token so that we get in for extra damage, and I don't know that it'll actually do anything, but it is pretty solid. I wonder if they put their Ratchet Bomb on one on purpose, intentionally knowing that they were going to Fatal Push the Voice of Resurgence, or maybe if they weren't thinking and did it backwards. Or maybe it's possible that they just knew they were going to want to kill 3-drops because there's a ton of 3-drops in this deck. Fatal Push the token. We're going to attack for 2. Cast Heart's Desire. Okay. Hopefully, oh, I can't cast a second spell. I'm so retarded. Kind of a Myriad kind of gets you. It's a shame it's my own card. With double Llanowar Elf, with an Llanowar Elf and an Elvish Mystic in my hand, if I was thinking about it, I would have just ran out the Lovestruck Beast there. Another Ratchet Bomb. Interesting. One card in their hand. Was hoping that would be a banger, but we're going to attack for 3, run out our Lovestruck Beast, and force them to pop their Ratchet Bomb. Yep. Okay, so they didn't play the last card in their hand. Could be a land, could be anything. Feels like if it was a cantrip or something, they would have used it. You willing to blow up your Ratchet Bomb right here? We're gonna run out 2 of our guys and say go here. And if they take it up to 1 next turn, we'll have Lovestruck Beast. Okay. There's their 6th land. Cast Elise Spellbinder. This forces them to make their plays now. Okay, sure.
That was less than great.
Mm-hmm. Real bad.
So I had something leave the battlefield.
Just moving so slowly.
So we're going to attack for 1. They're going to go to 11. We're going to play Heart's Desire. They're going to let that resolve, even though they can cast their Ether Gust. Maybe they want to draw a card here. I mean, Castle Locthwain's in the deck for a reason, so. Go to 10.
Are they coming out with new maps with the new season?
Probably.
More than likely.
I need to change guns because clearly M16 is not treating me well right now.
Gonna attack for 3. Ooh, Torrential Gearhulk, okay. It's a pretty good one. They get to push the Llanowar Elf, block the token.
Okay.
9 here. No cards left in hand. Then Ether Gust you can cast. Archon of Amirius, they go. Play their land. Gonna start drawing cards. I mean, I don't like that you have the ability to draw more cards, but I'm also okay with you losing life. So, kind of a double-edged sword there. Gonna get aggressive, huh? I like it.
Do they still have that Aether Gust exiled?
Yep. Been playing around it. They haven't cast it yet.
Is it 2 more to cast it?
Do what, buddy?
Is it 2 more to cast it?
Yeah, so it would cost 4 in total. So he draws into Opt off the Castle Locthwain, plays Opt. Scries 1 card to the top. Interesting. Sunpale Grove wasn't exactly what we were looking for, but we get to crash in for 3 here. See what they have, because they started to play something. Is this Drown in the Lock? Moment of Craving. That was actually a pretty good draw step. Just like pretty much negates our turn. And then I don't see a reason to play the land, so we're just going to hold it. Okay. You want to keep drawing cards? You keep drawing cards, buddy. You're just taking your life total down. Of course, I guess even if you hit a brick here, you can still... Even if you hit a brick here, you can still Ether Gust my Lovestruck Beast. I'm going to block and go to 8 here. I don't really see anything killing
You draw
us.
1/1 sleep. I
Huh?
go back to S. Never mind.
Well, Collected Company's not a bad one. That Ether Gust is going to be a problem, though. I'm just going to attack for 2 here and see what they do. I'm going to force them to make a play. Okay, they do nothing. They have 2 unknowns in hand, and we know about the Ether Gust they can cast. Maybe we got lucky and they just forgot about it.
Well, the good thing is once they cast a spell, they can't counter your company this time, right?
Yeah, I know.
That's the way that works, right?
Yeah, it is. They only get to cast 1 spell each turn. Well, we're going to go to 3 here. We're going to cast Company. If they gust it, we're going to put it on top. They have to have a hard counter spell to stop it. Ether Gust, put on top. Alright, please don't have a counter spell. Because if we hit a 1/1 here, and they don't have a removal spell, we win. Well,
What is that god?
It's Redane.
Can you tell me what that is by chance?
Oh, sure. It's a 3-mana legendary card. I have it up on the screen here. I'll let you read it or you're playing a game. Flying and Vigilance. No lands your opponent's controlling the battlefield tapped. Non-creature spells your opponent's cast with mana cost 4 or greater, cost 2 more to cast.
What costs 2 more to cast?
Non-creature spells that your opponent's cast with mana cost 4 or greater.
How are you playing that?
Do what?
Why are you playing that? Like, is there some matchup it's good in, or?
I mean, it's really good in this matchup.
Alright. I guess Ronas just kind of seems better to me.
You don't have that many things that actually turn Ronus on
Ah, okay.
in this deck. It's really hard to turn it on. At least from everything I've gathered. Hitting Tireless Striker and Elite Spellbinder was really good there. Now they're going to scry too. Probably better just to draw a card and then opt. You get to see more cards that way. Man, Tireless Striker's so good in this deck. Well, if you're drawing a card with Castle Lockplane to start the turn, that's not good. Yay, we win. Alright, well, we finished 4-1 with Green-White Company tonight. Our only loss was to Burn, which I ironically feel like is a really good matchup. Beat up on Niv in the first match. Beat up on Blue-Black Control. Lost to Burn. Beat Gruul Company aggro. And then we beat... What did we beat last round?
Amir.
Hmm?
Amir.
I still don't understand.
He said the mirror.
The mirror.
Was it a mirror?
The mirror. Blue black.
Oh, Demir.
I thought he was saying the mirror.
I also thought he was saying the mirror. After you said it, I was like, oh yeah, the mirror. That makes sense.
That's the one you're missing, right?
Yeah, I think so.
It's either that or Gruul. I didn't really hear what you said.
Yeah, I named Gruul. Yeah, I think Demir was the one we were missing. So the deck plays one fortified village, and I'm not saying that's wrong, but I don't think it's right. I think you can just cut the fortified village and play a fourth plains, honestly. You play multiple double white things here, so I don't know. It seems fine, but deck was pretty good. I liked it a lot. That was it for Magic tonight. If you were here for Magic, I appreciate you stopping by and hanging out. And when I come back in a few minutes, we're going to be playing some Rocket League. So if you're here for Rocket League, about to start.
Yay.